first of all, we have this small table here. We have the stationary items and their values. And then we have the amount of students here. And then in last it is asking for total cost. This would be the pencils plus rubbers plus paper times the number of students. And this should give us the total cost. So I will put my equal sign in to start off the formula. And as I mentioned, I think in the first tutorial, if you are going to be writing a bit more of a complex formula, usually you would start with an equal sign and an open parenthesis. So I will open my parenthesis here. So I would just jump into this formula right now and explain you afterwards what I have done. So using the point and click method, I will get the first value here, which is for pencils. Then the plus operator would go in. Then this value here for the rubbers. Then again the plus operator would go in. Plus it would be this value here. And then I will close off my parenthesis. Of course, this would give us the total of these three values here. But because I'm going to be multiplying all of these values as a total, I do need to close the parenthesis. And this is what Excel would see first. Now my multiplication operator can go in. So this would go in here. And I can go ahead and get this value here of the total number of students. And I will press enter. And it has come back with the total, as you can see here. So how do we know that this total is correct? Well, let's just move on to the next problem down here. So this is one of the things I do when it comes to just checking if my formulas are correct. And the best thing to do is just to simplify the problem that you are trying to work out. You simplify it to the point where you can actually just work it out in your head, or maybe just with a pen and paper, or even with a calculator. But you just simplify it so much that you know what the correct answer should be. So this is the problem we need to solve here. And the scenario is we have gas, we have water, and we have electricity. And we need to add all of these up and divide it by the total number of apartments, which would give me the average per apartment for all these bills. I would say the formula is pretty simple to write. It is going to be very similar to this formula here. But let's say it was really complicated and I didn't really know how to write the formula properly. Well, as you can see here, I have actually simplified the problem. I have just changed the gas amount into 10 pounds, and the same thing I have done for water and electricity as well. And I have changed the number of apartments to 5. So when you simplify the problem, it is usually a good idea just to simplify it down to, let's say, tens and fives, because figures in tens and fives are very easier to work out. So I know that answer for this particular problem here should be 6, which comes out as 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is equals to 30. And when we divide it by 5, we get our answer as 6. So I will just put my 6 here. And now what I can do is I can write out this formula. And if I get the answer 6, then I know I am in business. And the formula is actually correct. So here my equal sign would go in, and I will open my parenthesis, select this value here for gas, use the addition operator, select the value for water, again use the addition operator, and same thing for electricity, and then close this parenthesis, and then I will divide this whole value by the number of apartments. So I will again select this value. So here my formula is complete, so I will just press enter, and my answer has come back as 6. So all I need to do at this point is come to this cell here where this formula is written, press Ctrl C, and you can see the marching ends around this cell. Select this cell here and press Ctrl V to paste this formula in. And here I have my answer. So there are other things as well you can do just to make sure that your formulas are correct. So for instance, if I came back to this formula here and I deleted this parenthesis, I mean these brackets, and press enter, it comes back as 31 pounds. Just looking at the answer there and estimating what the answer should be, I can see that that's wrong. There is no way it can be 31 pounds. So I know that the formula is incorrect. So obviously I might want to use the simplification method just to find out how to write the formula properly. You can also double check your answers. So for instance, if I put a equals sign in here to create a formula, I put this value here and multiply it by this value here. and press enter, it comes back as 3103. In technically speaking, it should be the same as the summation of these three things here. So I will put my cell here and click on auto sum up here, and I will select these three values like this and press enter. And as you can see, it is the same value as this one. Now let's move on to something that's maybe a little bit more complex. We have this pay here, which is set at 2000 pounds. I would like to deduct 20% from this 2000 pounds, then multiply it by 13, and then once again multiply it by 6. So I definitely say this is a bit more of a complex formula. So it would be good to use a simplification method here that I have set up here at the bottom, as you can see. And once again, I am using very small and easy figures to work with so that I know the answer is correct. So when it comes to writing formulas in Excel, it's not good to just combine everything into one formula. It is a good idea to break down the data and then use a very simple formula at the end. So I will demonstrate that with this problem here, which is the same as this one here, except obviously the tax has already been worked out, as you can see here. And this was done with a formula. So we'll get here in a second. But anyway, let's just use the simplification method here. So I know that 100 pounds minus 20% is going to come back as 80 pounds. 80 times 2 is 160, and times 2 once again is 320. So I will put this value here, 320. And I know that if I write this formula correctly, my answer should be 320. So let's write out this formula. Now this can be quite a tricky one because we need to subtract 20% from 100 pounds. So because I know this is going to be quite a complex formula, I will start with my open parenthesis. I will get the first value here, multiply it by this value here, and then divide it by 100, and then close it off. Now it is closed. Now if I were to press enter now, it should come back as 20 pounds. So it is telling me, okay, 20% of 100 pounds is 20 pounds. But that's not the value I want. I want to find out how much is left after 20% is deducted. So just double clicking on my formula once again, I will come to the beginning of my formula and I am going to click on this cell reference once again. So even though this cell is already selected, you can click on it as many times as you want to reference it. So I have clicked on it again, and as you can see, it has been referenced here once again. So I'm going to subtract this formula here, which we know is equals to 20. And when I press enter, this would give us 80 pounds. So now we can move on to the next stage. So again, I will double click on the cell to open up the formula. So now I am going to put a open parenthesis here and a close parenthesis here. You will notice that I have ended up with two red brackets in the middle. I do not know why Excel uses this color, but typically when you see this for the first time, you may think to yourself, those brackets aren't supposed to be there because they are red. But that's not the case. Just because they are red, it doesn't mean they are not supposed to be there. That's just a color code Excel likes to use for what it calls stacked parentheses. Now what we can do is we can multiply by this amount here and multiply once again by the cell reference which is actually behind my formula, and I can see that it is F79 from this column and this row. So I will just type in F79. So on this occasion you do have to type it in, and at this point this formula is ready to go. So I will just press enter, and as you can see it has come back as 320 pounds, and I know that's correct. Now all I have to do is copy this formula using Ctrl C and paste it here using Ctrl V to get my answer, and I am pretty happy that it is the correct answer. Now just moving on to the last scenario here. Before that, here you can see we can still see the marching ants. So I will just press escape to remove this selection. So now when we come down here, as you can see, we have the same situation, except well, as I have already mentioned, the total after tax has been already worked out. And you would notice that it is the same formula. If you just take a mental note of it here, It is the same formula as within here, as you can see. So that's been worked out here. So here what we have done is we have already reduced 20% from this 2000. So this means this formula of mine does not need to be so complex this time. All it is going to have consist of is, of course, my equal sign. You can get this value here, multiplied by this value, the total number of people, and then finally multiply by the total months. And that's it. As you can see, it has been simplified by quite a lot. So I will press enter, and it has come back as the same answer as we have got here. So I am pretty happy with my answers here. So as we go through this course, we would be writing a lot of formulas. So like I have mentioned a number of times now, you will keep getting more familiar with them as we keep moving ahead in this course.